Hey everyone, this is Ed from PixelTunes Radio, and you're about to listen to episode 99, part 1, SpookyTunes 4. So you're going to notice that the show sounds a little bit different than usual. We basically used one microphone to record all 6 hosts, so yeah, we are aware that the audio is not as clear as our usual episodes. Also, editing is pretty much been thrown out the window. We had a lot of fun. The show kind of descended into chaos, and we wanted to kind of keep that chaotic feeling alive in the final show because we had a blast making it, and we hope that you guys have as much fun listening to it as we did making it. So we got a whole bunch of special guests on the show, and we are excited to give it to you. Hope you enjoy.
Welcome to PixelTunes Radio,
A podcast where we have fun
talking about video games
and video game music.
I'm Spooky Mike.
And I'm not Spooky Ed.
I'm Pernell from Rhythm and Pixels.
I'm Cameron.
I'm Todd.
I'm Keeglyph. Or Emily.
And this is episode 99, part 1, SpookyTunes 4.
Whoa, hold on. I know you did not just do that right away.
I'm sorry. And this will be SpookyTunes 4.
No! SpookyTunes.
Okay, don't give yourself a hernia.
4.
I just got here and I'm already very confused.
So this is our 4th entry of the SpookyTunes Halloween special. We're going to be splitting up this episode. It's going to be a part 1 and part 2. This is part 1, obviously. We've got some fantastic guests.
And some fantastic tracks.
Yes. We're going to be blowing your spooky socks off.
Yes. So let's introduce our guests to start off with.
Sure.
First up to my left is Pernell from Rhythm and Pixels.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Governor.
So I guess to set this up, we should explain that we're recording this the night before Retroworld Expo.
Yes.
We're going to have a panel tomorrow with most of us involved in one way or another. Mm-hmm. So Pernell has driven up from Delaware to come chill out with us tonight and record. So thank you so much for being on the show with us.
Thank you for living in a state that's above sea level.
Right? Very
and
true.
not on fire.
Yes.
That is very true.
Yeah. That's how we do here in the cut.
And so Cameron, you guys should be familiar with Cameron. He was just on a couple episodes.
Yeah,
he was on the last episode.
Yep.
And
I do not have a podcast, though I've appeared on one from time to time.
Yes.
But we know that if he wanted one, he'd have it.
And then to my right, we have the Alec Baldwin of the podcast, Mr. Todd.
I don't know how I got this designation, but here I am.
You know, like on Saturday Night Live, like they always have like
He just shows up every once in a
Alec
while.
Baldwin's on like every episode ever, so you
All
know
right,
you're
so
like,
that's me.
yeah, that's Todd. Yeah,
The Alec Baldwin of the show.
resemblance.
my name is
Yes.
Todd, and this is PixelTunes.
that's right.
And to my right is Keeglyph, Emily from VGM Jukebox.
Yes, hi everybody.
And she's driven down from Massachusetts. So we have like this whole interstate kind of East
We've all
Coast thing going
converged
on.
on this one point
Yes.
together to blow out our voices
Destiny.
the night
Yeah.
before we have to do
Yeah,
a
we all
panel.
practically
Right.
shout at the microphone.
Yeah.
So we got some top of the show business to get to besides the whole panel thing. So we're going to do, we'll release this episode on our normal Wednesday schedule.
Right.
And then we'll have a special, hopefully a special live recording of the panel as long as everything works out correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Which reminds me, sadly, Rob Nichols is not with us tonight. He will be at the panel tomorrow, but he's staying up in Hartford tonight.
Right.
So, but he will be on the panel, and then we will release that panel recording as long as everything works out correctly.
Yep.
1 week.
crossed.
What
Yeah.
could go
Fingers
wrong?
crossed.
1 week from today.
Don't you say that. You can't even knock on wood because you were told not to.
And there's so much wood around us right now.
What? That's what she said.
Don't mean there's a lot of guys. I mean,
Well,
this
there are.
whole basement that we're recording in is made of wood.
But there
anyway,
are-
Furnished from guys.
yes,
It's Emily's first podcast at an actual bar.
it's true.
From what I,
Yes,
from
that's
what
true,
I
actually.
Wow.
Wait,
Yes,
so
out from
point,
the
sir, good
hypothetical
point.
virtual space of my podcast into this real reality.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
That's
a
kind
little
of
and-
unnerving and cool.
and
I'm
Josh
not
is here
into
too.
3D. Josh is here in spirit.
Right.
As a
Gundam
Gunpla.
Joss. Right.
Yes.
Right.
Gundam
So
Joshi.
we have a
More
Gundam
plasticky than
figurine.
usual.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit
Just a
more.
little bit though.
Yeah.
So we should add that we're also recording this in a little bit different format. And we're recording in a different place too. So normally we record in the PixelTunes Creepy Castle basement. So what is this?
This
would be
is-
the PixelTunes. I feel like this is like the turtle blimp.
What did we call
This
it?
is like what they were. This is like the turtle van.
We called it. We had something. Emily, you might remember. We called it something when we were doing the Cadillacs and Dinosaurs
We
last
did.
stream.
Oh, we were
Yep.
throwing out all kinds
It
of
was
awful
Ruiner
names.
Nine's Dungeon or something like
Remember
that.
that
And Murder
Creepy
Lair.
Castle dungeon? Yeah.
Yeah.
We were
Something.
appending and murder room onto
But
everything.
yeah,
the murder room.
PixelTunes murder room.
Something like
Dude,
that.
booze den.
That's just
That
terrible.
works. Booze Den is good with me. We are at a bar, technically.
Yes.
So yeah, let's. We got one pixel chat question to get to because with 6 of us here, it's going
Sure.
to be quite a long answer.
I agree.
So Chris Murray asked us a question that was kind of geared more towards our upcoming 100th episode, which will be in a couple weeks. But
Woohoo!
I kind of adapted it to all of us here because I thought it was a really cool question.
Mm-hmm.
So he asks all of us if we couldn't do a video game or video game music related podcast, what kind of podcast would you do? And we'll start off with
Ooh.
Pernell. Just go kind of round table.
Ooh,
Wow,
Ah.
just put the heat on. Just
Hot
start.
seat.
Well, it's a two-folder, I guess, because if I just wanted to be general and fun, I'd do probably a culinary podcast. I like to cook.
Okay,
I like
okay.
to eat,
Right on.
as you can tell from the punch. But so that would definitely be a thing. And if I just wanted people to just, I'm not sure how people would feel about me if I did it, but do a general, just like social podcast, whether it be social mannerisms, social hot topics, social bullshit, anything in relation to dialogue and current events. That would probably be my thing because I love the event. And I love to just kind of put thoughts out there, whether they be positive or just what the hell.
Very cool.
Would you take listener questions? Would I be actually writing like, Dear Pernell, I have this issue at
Like
work.
Dear Abby.
What do I do?
Actually, I wasn't
name of
thinking
the
about
podcast,
that, but I would
Dear Pernell.
totally do that.
Can we please
No.
do this?
It's too happy.
That would be fun as hell.
I would listen to
Yeah.
that podcast so much.
I'd have to prep in advance for the answers, though. I couldn't just do them on the fly. 'Cause I'm like, what the beep? I mean, calming down.
Excellent self-censoring there. All right, Cameron, what about you?
Wait, so it's if we couldn't do a video game related podcast?
Well, we know that you like video game music. You've been on our show before.
Yeah.
So other interests that you might want to do a podcast on?
It would be music in some way.
General music?
Yeah. Well, not general. It would probably be like
Country?
oh yeah, absolutely.
You like shoegaze, don't you?
It would be like we pick a few songs, play them, and talk about them, something like that.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure 100 podcasts do that.
Actually, you'd be surprised because there are so many licensing issues with playing radio music.
Quote unquote real music.
Yeah, you can't put it on SoundCloud. You can't put it on iTunes. So if you did that, you would have to release it on something where it would be hard to get to, or just release the MP3 on your website or something like that. But yeah, I've been toying around with that ever since Todd and I did that industrial music episode. I would love to have a show on regular industrial music and just not just VGM stuff. But so
I would also
but it
like
be
to
cool.
incorporate comedy into it somehow, but I'd have to figure out how that would work.
Comedy never works in a podcast. Just look at us.
Yeah, it doesn't work for you guys.
Definitely not.
All right, Todd, what would you do?
Well, here's the problem that I have as a mere guest on a podcast. I don't host
Merely a
one.
guest.
I don't I don't have the knowledge or the experience for a podcast to carry one myself. So what can
I disagree. We all just made it up as we went. But continue.
What she said is true.
All right. So fair enough. But I don't do one myself. So I don't feel that I have the knowledge or the experience. So how about that?
I believe in you.
Given that, I would probably do like a book review podcast. I know it's lame,
Oh,
but I
that's
do
cool.
like to read. So
We have a
and
librarian
I know
here with
that's-
us,
I know that's close to Emily's heart and to Keegliff's heart because she's a librarian. But
You
yeah.
can call me either or.
And you made the comment about how you felt it was quote unquote lame. How about if you did it, you would put that personal Todd touch on it to inspire more people to want to read and think of it as being less lame.
I know all about that personal Todd touch.
So when I walk in on here,
What would the format be? Would you just
I would read a book and then I would talk about it on
the podcast.
On this
He'd
fictitious
read the
podcast.
book on
That
the
will never
podcast.
happen.
But he'd read it to
the
himself. It
book.
would just be 3 hours of page turning.
Yeah. That I would listen to. That'd be
Casey
soothing.
will lick his finger.
Yeah.
Would you release the book you were going to read ahead of time so your listeners could read to prepare if they wanted to?
Like a book club,
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you know, if more than 2 people listen to it, sure.
You do realize
Even
you
if it's
just
just
created, you pretty much just made a podcast right
Hey,
there.
I
You
guess
can
I
do it,
could,
man.
Hey, I'll-
everybody look out for Todd's book podcast.
Todd.
There you go.
Todd, yeah.
I'll be honest. I mean, when
Todd's page turner.
I know this isn't the.
Ooh, all right.
There you go.
I think we've
That's
got
pretty
something
good.
going here.
I mean, I'll be honest. When we started, which was, geez, a couple years ago, I didn't think it would turn into anything like this. I figured we would just have a couple of our friends maybe listen occasionally, and it'd just be us cramming it down their throats like, please listen.
And not be the international superstars that we are now.
Right, absolutely, absolutely.
People stopping you on the street.
Yeah,
you know.
you're Mike Levy from PixelTunes Radio. Oh my God,
They just walk up to you and they're
I
like,
want to
oh my
marry
God,
you and have your babies, and then I'm like, that's creepy.
Wow. All
Get
right.
away
So,
from me,
so what would you
creeper.
do if it wasn't a video game podcast?
That's a good question. I don't know. Probably something video game music podcast related. Yeah,
Doesn't count.
No,
Wrong answer.
So that's always what I really wanted to do, though, is a video game music podcast. Like that was, like before you approached me, it was like, yo, that's what I wanted to do. So the fact that I'm doing it, I don't know if I really could do anything else. But I don't know. Maybe talk about video game waifus.
That's video game related.
Yeah.
So basically, you just talk about Nipponichi software games every
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
That sounds
Yeah.
lovely.
No, I don't know.
Episode 1, My. Episode 2, Tifa.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, yeah, it's true. There's a lot more floating around out there.
Yeah. Definitely a lot of things to talk about.
Hi-yo.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know. Yeah, that's my answer. Please. I like sports, but I only like sports in the basic capacity, like, you know,
Casual.
go this team or that team. But I'm not a
Rah-rah.
I'm not a rah-rah. You know, yeah, I cheer, but that's, you know, in
You
private,
could just record
in the dark.
you and your friends watching sports, and then people could play those podcasts in their bars. So
Oh,
it
you know,
sounds like there's a ton of people.
I would probably do either anime, cartoons, or movies, because those are
There
my
you
other
go.
loves.
That works.
Yeah. Yep, and music too.
Just 20 episodes of
State
RoboCop.
Yeah.
of the anime industry.
Yeah.
All right, Emily, what would you do?
Okay, so what I would do, something that I really love about the podcast that I do is that we collect stories from other people. So I think I would want to continue that format in some way. And I think maybe what I would like to do is to kind of go around talking to people who have various chronic illnesses and just sort of get their perspective on what
That's a good
you know,
one.
going through their life is like, because it'll bring awareness to it.
Yeah.
Kind of like a Humans of New York, but a little more specialized.
Yeah, or Ninja Turtles.
Why not both?
Why not both?
So,
Drive around in the turtle van.
Hi, my name's Mike. I have Crohn's disease. I'm a big fan of Michelangelo.
how would Donatello respond to having muscular dystrophy?
Yeah, I'll end every episode
think it's
giving
probably
everyone
yes.
their like spiritual.
Hi, my
turtle.
name's Ed.
Like you.
I have
are
IBS
the
and everything I eat must be fed through a shredder.
Yeah.
Words of Splinter.
Baby birded.
All right, so I guess it's my turn. I would do, well, because I'm a dad and I also do technology for schools, I think I would do a podcast on...
Building a child. What? Like a robot child.
That would be cool.
So AI on the
Astro
podcast.
Man.
Yeah.
And she would be my first
Astro
guest.
Boy.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I would do a responsible technology for kids.
Okay.
Like, you know, teachers and parents can listen to the podcast and find out what's good for your kid, what's bad for your kid, you know, stuff like that.
Cool.
I think that would be kind of cool. I think there would be kind of an infinite number of episode themes I could approach with that one. So
Now here's
do that
a
now.
twist on that. Now take that podcast idea, or all of our podcast idea, and then put video game music podcast back in.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's the Cooking and Video Game Music Podcast
Yes.
with social issues commentary.
Yes.
Hour.
Chronic illness and musical therapy.
Yes.
Family keyword.
There you go.
Wow. This is amazing.
We're brilliant.
I
guys.
think
Yeah.
we'll make billions of dollars.
I'm
Yes.
surprised no one said
I'm
I
gonna-
want to do a game video podcast.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Wait,
I discuss
Videos about video
from games. I want to talk about
talk about
the
the
CGI cutscene from the beginning of Mega Man X4.
The VHS tape that came for Donkey Kong Country.
Breaking down the Heavy Rain cutscene with the accidental Sean.
Jason!
Sean.
Sean, it's Jason.
No, it's Sean.
In Heavy Rain?
Yeah.
It's Jason.
That's
No, it's
Jason.
Sean.
It's Jason.
It's Jason.
No, he's screaming Sean.
Jason!
I
There's
feel like that's a weird.
There's an entire thing.
No,
Press X to Jason.
We're all
Jason.
carrying portable
Look.
internet devices.
Sean,
people.
I'm trying to
We have Rewind Mike sitting here with us, and he's nodding
It's
to
Jason.
me.
Jason.
I'm almost positive it's not.
All right.
Like that's
Well,
even
no,
how
we're
he
We'll have to
says
look
it.
at some YouTube clips after we record. So,
All right.
Then we'll.
The clown doesn't even
odds
know where
are
Jason
too
is.
This is the first episode of that podcast.
Then
All
we'll-
right.
It's Jason. It's Sean. It's Jason.
It's Todd.
All right.
Um,
let's
All right. So
let's mosey on down the
let's
path.
get
The
into
spooky path.
the music. Yeah.
Yeah. What do we got up
I'm
next?
losing my train of thought here. All right, so we're gonna go basically around the table, and we're gonna.
go last because
Well, Mike and I gotta go last. here.
we're gracious hosts. No, save the best for last.
Gorgeous. It's a trap. No, I'm not feeding you and giving you drinks, and
They've got us all the time.
You don't
I
want
think
to.
there's drugs in this drink, actually.
You want to know what's in that?
all right.
Could be a gummy worm
Alcohol in my beer.
or something else.
So there's 6 hosts and 1 track per host, so six songs tonight. Probably will end up going 2 hours anyway, considering
Probably.
how much we're talking. So first up is Todd. And do you remember what you picked, Todd? Because you don't have a computer in front of you.
It's Seventh Guest.
Yes.
Right, and it wasn't puzzle, so it was the Dollhouse.
Music Box.
I was
it's called
picking,
Music Box,
picking
otherwise known as
between 2 or
Puzzles.
3 different tracks.
Yeah.
Let's say you won on the first choice, the first statement.
Hold on.
Yes, the Seventh Guest Music Box. Also puzzles. It is a track that plays while you're trying to figure out puzzles.
Yes.
And that's by George Sanger.
All right, let's give it a listen. The Fat Man.
Welcome back. That was Music Box and Puzzles from the Seventh Guest, composed by George Sanger. And this is a song that is played in the game, obviously, Seventh Guest. A PC game. Has anybody here actually played it?
A long time ago.
New.
And it was good.
So just Ed.
It's on my list. It's on my list.
PC game odds are I have not.
It is one of the first full motion video games that came out on the PC, and it is you are in a creepy old house made by a lunatic puzzle maker, toy maker, Henry Stauff.
And there are guests, and of
And
which
there
you are the
guests.
7th.
There are 6 of them plus you, so the 7th guest.
That's
you go
what
around-
equals 7.
And you go around solving puzzles. It's mostly a puzzle game. It's not like a jump scare kind of game, but if you like puzzle games and you like creepy music, this one's a winner.
Yeah.
You game over in it, or is it just basically keep
Not
going
really.
until it's over?
Yeah, you get to a puzzle and you keep trying.
Kind of like Myst, more or less. Very similar to that
There's no real,
feel.
like, way to die or fail to the point where it's game over.
It was basically like a technology showcase because you could.
fact, yeah.
I remember it was going to be one of the first games that came out for the Super Nintendo CD-ROM add-on. There was a big Nintendo Power had a big thing on it.
Right.
Because it kind of shows off. You can move around, kind of like interstitched pictures as you move through this mansion. It's kind of like full motion video scenes of you walking through these halls, and then it would stop, and then like ghostly full motion video people would pop up in front of you and like taunt you, and then would tell you what you need to do, and then go away. So it's kind of like a very good showcase of the technology that CD could provide. So it was pretty cool. But the song is cool. I mean, the Music Box definitely kind of sums it up. But then you get these kind of muted trumpets that almost sound like they're playing like half of taps,
They don't
and then
belong
it
in
just
there,
goes
but
away.
Yeah, I
It
felt
does.
like there was a little lick at the funeral march in there. In the
Yeah,
beginning.
exactly.
I heard
and
that
then
too.
it didn't go where I thought it was going to go, and I thought, oh,
Threw you for a
okay,
loop.
we're trying to set
The
up
weird
a
part
mood
is
here.
my memory of this song is like when you played it on the PC originally, it was just MIDI. So
Right.
this is an actual performed version of the song.
Yeah.
And it is not. It doesn't sound like what I remember it because it was just synthesized
Yeah.
through.
I mean, not knowing anything about the franchise or the game or literally anything, when I started playing this track, I thought this is from a puzzle game, and I was right. So,
right.
5 points to me.
Hooray!
I think it sounds vaguely Christmassy.
Yeah,
Kinda
you know what?
creepy.
It's
It sounds
those
like
Tim Burton
It's
Christmas.
that
Yeah, it
home.
sounds
It's
like
that Home Alone. I almost said
Home
Home
Alone,
Depot.
exactly.
It's that home. It's that Home Alone feel to it.
It's
you know?
like a segment where Kevin's like walking through the
Do-
forest, like
do-
on the
do-
way
do-
home
do-
or
do-
something.
yeah.
And he's like imagining that someone's following him or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only he's not
Right,
imagining at all.
Yeah.
It's the Wet Bandits.
God, that name's still screwed.
I really do love
Sticky
the trope,
bandits.
by the way, of architects gone mad. I don't know exactly where that came from in pop culture, but I love video games and movies and stuff that have to do with somebody actually making a house into a demented puzzle.
Yes, with movable rooms and
Right,
all that kind of
yes.
stuff.
I didn't even think about that as a trope.
Like
until you
Resident
said
Evil
that.
has
Well,
it
that's
too.
what I
you
was.
know?
Yeah, because this made me think of Resident Evil, and Resident Evil 3, there's a music box puzzle as well.
Yep.
So that's kind of where I was going as I was listening to this.
Her statement of architects going mad, first thing that came to my mind was, I think it was called 13 Ghosts, with the house that could
Yes.
Yep, yep.
That's a great movie.
shit. So freaking creepy.
Or 999.
Yeah.
That was my jam.
Definitely that. Although it was more of a boat than a house, but
That was my
same
boat.
kind of concept.
That was my boat.
It was a boat.
Cool. Well, what do we
All
got
right.
next?
Next up is Emily's pick.
Hey, we're going to hear from Echo the Dolphin, The Tides of Time for the Sega Genesis. This is Moray Abyss, and the composers on this, whose names I never know how to pronounce exactly, are Attila Dobos, Andras Magyari, Andy Armour, and David Havalosa.
All right, let's take a listen.
His name is Andy Armour.
Armor?
Armoire.
Armor.
Armoire.
Alright, welcome back. That was Echo the Dolphin, The Tides of Time for the Sega Genesis, and that was Moray Abyss. So I've actually played this track on my podcast before, and I sort of felt like I wanted to do something unique, and then I couldn't get away from this track because I love it so much. This is one of my favorite pieces of VGM ever. The story of Echo 2, this is the sequel to the first Echo the Dolphin game. It involves a lot of the creepy atmosphere that you already went through in the first Echo game, but it also involves a dark future, and you actually go there. And this track plays in a couple of different portions, but it does play in the dark future, and it plays during a particularly frustrating boss, actually, that is holding the last pieces that you need basically to save a very important character's life. So, I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot of intense emotion wrapped up in it because you're really creeped out and you're really frustrated, but it's such an important moment. And I think as a kid I didn't like this track because of all those associations, but then when I went back to it as an adult I was like, this is the jam.
It's good.
It is really spooky, and it's really weird hearing you introduce a track.
It's what?
Spooky.
Is the spooky bouncing?
I'm trying to do it. I just can't
That was
do it.
very robotic. Where was the feeling?
You need to do a hard reset, Ed.
Very spooky.
Check your batteries.
Upgrade my firmware.
Yeah.
My spookware.
Your spookware.
This track
Updates
sets off my
required.
fear circuits.
Anyways.
All I have to say about this track is before I listened to it, I saw Emily had posted the track, and I saw Echo the Dolphin, and I said, leave it to Emily to pick a non-spooky looking game starring a dolphin for SpookyTunes.
But Echo's got some weird stuff in it, though.
It does have some very ambient, very like dark, creepy music.
Well, I'm just talking about content more than music, but
right.
music too.
The
Yeah,
first
well, it's like
game's-
dark sci-fi almost.
Yeah, well, the first game straight up traumatized me. I don't know if anyone else out there has had this experience, but the first Echo game is very difficult, and at some point I was thinking, I'm just going to put in some random letters in the password screen and see where it takes me. What are the chances? If you put in all N's, I think it's N, it might be 7, it takes you to the second to last level with where you're in a hive and it's completely dark sci-fi with aliens coming at you whose heads you have to explode. I was so bothered by this coming from, swimming around in like the warm oceans that I was doing 5 minutes before to going to that I actually took the cart and I buried it in my bureau for like a month because I couldn't even look
It's
at
like
it.
culture shock almost.
Yeah,
It's
it
like,
was,
this isn't a game I was playing.
It was quite unnerving. So yeah, it's very alien inspired.
I'm just smiling at this concept. She's like, it was very alien and bizarre to me. Like, not the game where you were talking dolphin. Saving the world with sound.
No, Pernell, come on, that makes complete sense.
That's
It
totally
makes complete
logical.
sense, but once like the Ridley Scott stuff comes in, that's when it goes off.
Because dolphins have nothing to do with it ever at all.
Exploding alien heads?
Yeah,
I see
exploding
dolphins
aliens.
do it all the time.
And it's true. All that along with their alcohol and night swimming antics.
It's the stuff at SeaWorld they don't want you to see.
Yeah.
That's what only the VIPs get to pay for that stuff.
Saving the world on a regular basis and we'll never know about it.
But anyways, the music. Opinions.
I thought it sounded great.
It's got a lot of Genesis wow.
Yeah,
It
a lot of
does.
sweeps.
Wow. Yeah, a lot of that. I dig it. I mean, not something I listen to in the car, but still,
I've listened to this in the car for like 45 minutes straight. I know we connect on that, but
Yeah.
But even this,
Yeah.
roll it down.
I think if I was in another place, thanks to
Another time.
if you were in a dark future,
In a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah. No, I think that if my head was not in
Exploded.
the place that it normally is, how do I say this?
If you were emo,
if I were going down the path to being a serial killer,
If I was high as a kite, I would probably really. I was trying to dance. I was trying to dance around it.
No joke.
You guys wouldn't let me
actually.
dance. I had to just break
If
out
I
in
were
songs.
high on drugs used for medical purposes.
Yes,
go.
exactly. If I had
Medicinal.
chronic emphysema and had to take something for it, I feel like this is the track I would listen to.
All right.
I see where you're getting
In
to.
a
I was
dark
going to say
room.
that the either the creator of the
Yeah,
game
Chronic,
or
exactly.
the composers were huge fans of Pink Floyd.
Okay, that totally makes sense.
So there's,
Okay.
there's a connection going
All
on.
right. I need to hear some cash registers, otherwise
Planetary.
no go.
Clocks just going off.
Yeah,
everywhere.
yeah.
Heartbeats. Yeah.
Do.
Men shouting at children.
Yes.
Anyways.
have your PixelTunes unless you have your pudding.
What?
You know, from the wall. All right. How can you have your PixelTunes if you can't eat your meat?
There you go.
Okay.
I was waiting for the correct
Well,
one.
nobody wants to eat the meat. I would want the pudding. So,
Make it easier on you.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
PixelTunes is accessible to everybody,
Yeah, man.
except people who hate
Pudding or
pudding.
meat.
Especially pudding. Pudding is our biggest
Oh,
fans.
Pudding Tunes Radio.
having that.
Pudding Tunes Radio. That is the podcast I would do. Perfect. Hey guys, we're going to talk about butterscotch today.
We're going to run out of episodes very fast. This time we're going to be talking about
Oh, no,
butterscotch
no, no,
'cause you
with
can
fruit
start- you can
chunks in it.
mix
No.
No, you
flavors.
guys have to get involved. It's got to be. We're talking about butterscotch. We've got Pernell on the show today
Right.
to show us some extra tips.
Yo, listen.
Right.
35 episodes worth of just butterscotch.
Things you can do with
Things
butterscotch.
butterscotch radio
All right. So, what do you say we move on to our next track?
is involving butterscotch.
It involves Pernell, so who knows?
So definitely butterscotch.
All
It
right.
can involve ghee butter snaps. Ooh.
Here we
All right.
go.
Pernell, what you got for us?
Well, first and foremost, I want to just outright point out that it's kind of interesting that so far no one has picked for a spooky.
Oh, we got
There
it.
we go.
episode.
There we go.
No one
So proud of you.
has actually broken out a track from like a horror game.
Right.
And I'm going to continue that trend. So, the track I had is from an unexpected title called Wild Arms 2, old school PS1 title. Nice. And the track is titled, I believe, is Pinch Fight 1. And it's by Michiko Naruke.
You got it.
I tried
I've seen
hard.
Pinch Fight 1 and Pinch Type 1. I don't know which one is the correct one, so
It's hard to
whatever.
even tell if it has an official name. I just
Let's call it Pinch.
A+.
Pinch 1.
in a pinch.
In a pinch, you can listen to this track and get spooked.
That's right. You're going to
There you go.
Well done, Ed.
The
Enjoy
reboot
it.
finally went through.
All right, excellent.
Spooky.
It was over the air, so it was a little slow.
Okay.
All right, let's take a listen.
Is this thing on? I hope
Oh,
so.
we're recording. We are live, sir.
Oh crap! I should have said all that stuff about the things.
God.
And the cheese.
And the pudding.
So much
And the
pudding.
spooky.
Spooky.
And the butterscotch.
Well, you possibly have already soiled your knickers from listening to that track. It is titled Pinch Fight 1 from the game Wild Arms 2, composed by Michiko Naruke. Now, there are two Pinch Fight tracks in the game, and they're both kind of on the spooked, scary factor. And it's kind of odd that they are, because the game itself is not scary at all. And I guess the dungeons that they play in could be semi-creepy. Like, I know one of these tracks plays in a prison that you break into, and it's like a...
You break into the prison?
Yeah, you gotta break into the prison to get somebody out.
We
Weird.
saw that one coming.
Yeah.
Oh, we're talking about freaking prison break on this bad boy.
Sounds
But
pretty spooky.
It's very spooky. You're fighting
what?
like freaking kobolds
Spooky.
and wildebeest.
It was a little
and
baby
robots
spooky.
for some reason. But hey, it's the Wild West. Of course, there's robots. But yeah, this game. I mean, it's a spectacular title. We were having a discussion, in the cut, but we kind of agreed that the second game isn't as good in plot-wise as the first game is, but gameplay-wise, I feel like it definitely trumps the first. It just gives you more of what you liked.
It's prettier too.
Oh, definitely prettier.
The character designs are very nice.
Because I do dig the first one. I haven't played the second one, but I also haven't beaten the first one, so...
Oh, you gotta beat the first one. It's
Yeah.
like, it's one of the first games I could think of that had a pretty cool plot twist to me as I was playing role-playing. Because remember back in the day... we had some great-
Whoa.
Uh-oh.
Ears. I haven't beaten it yet.
I'm not gonna tell you what it was.
Okay.
Come on, I'm
All right.
just saying.
Don't even hint. Don't even point.
All I was gonna say was that like we had previous RPGs, like we had all the greats from the earlier days. People that come up with the Lunars and the Final Fantasy 4s and 6s and whatever.
Yep.
But I don't recall any of them having any real major plot twists. The closest might be like the Kane portrayal, but by like the third time he does it, you're like, oh come on, why'd you even take it with you in the first damn place? But anyway, the point is,
You're talking about the first one or the second one? The twist, the plot twist.
no, I'm talking about Water's 1. Had a cool plot.
Well, in Final Fantasy VII, you find out that Tifa's your girlfriend the whole time. At the end.
But this was before that game.
Oh, okay.
Water's 1 was.
Okay.
But yeah, it's like this was like to me had one of the first. Cause like, holy crap! There's like more going on. I can keep playing. You
I
know,
remember that. I gotta play it again.
it's such a legit title,
Interesting.
man.
It is. I love it.
1, 2, and 3.
But while we were playing the song, I heard a lot of you guys kind of discussing it as it was playing, and you got the feeling that it was like
A chase scene.
being chased,
Yeah.
like a serial killer kind of after you,
yeah.
kind of a. I envisioned like a drunk cat on the lower end of the piano, like kind of dancing around.
I was imagining like a burning building coming down around you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
has
a
very
timed
kinda-
mission to get out.
Yep, suspenseful kind of feeling to it for
You
sure.
give
There's a lot of
cats
good
way
texture
too much
too.
credit. Cats don't move that much. Trust me, I have one.
Even if they're drunk. Have you gotten your cat drunk?
Yeah, on catnip.
That's high.
Well,
Drunk is like-
same thing. I would never give
That's
my
back
cat
into the
alcohol.
echo track.
Right.
territory.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. No, the track's good. I dig it.
Yeah, it was. Not,
It's short.
Not so much on the spooky side, but
Right.
more on the like suspenseful thriller
Right,
kind
right.
of horror side. So I think it
Anxiety.
definitely
But
fits.
that's all
Yeah.
spook in some
Exactly,
way.
it all
It's
falls under
spook.
that umbrella.
Ooh.
Well, let me just ask a question for those of you who have played this. These two? Just these two?
I guess.
Those two.
Those
Maybe.
dudes.
Those two.
Those
It's been
two.
a while.
Over there, in the
Cam,
corner.
Cam and
Over
Pernell.
there,
Cam and
over
Pernell.
there. So, as you're playing this particular scene or recurring scenes with this track, how does it affect you as you're playing it? Does it actually kind of heighten the anxiety for you, or are you kind of like tuning it out? Did you remember this
I don't
track?
recall
while
ever
you were
getting that
playing it?
feeling. And like
Yeah.
Pernell said, it doesn't really match what's happening because there's nothing like that in the game, really.
How many changes of
I will-
underwear did you have to go through? Is what
I
Emily's
didn't-
asking.
It was so spookless. I didn't wear any at all.
How wild were your arms?
But like, I will say that the other one that I did pick for this episode, the Pinch Fight 2 version, was the one that plays in the prison area. That it wasn't it was anxiety in the sense where it was like, you know, enemies were difficult and the atmosphere and all just kind of led it together to say, wow,
bosses are
I should not freaking be in this dungeon right now. But you gotta be because things need to get done and you're the guy to get it done. That's
right.
That's how it goes.
You got those
Fate
arms, and they are
chose you.
so damn wild.
Oh,
right.
just flailing about.
Like Luigi style, like Buck Wild. Yeah, exactly.
All right, so
Cool.
you guys ready to move on to the next track?
No, let's talk more about what.
I talked about Wild Arms for a while, but I guess.
What's your favorite tool?
Mike's
like-
my favorite tool.
I like shoe.
The wildest tools.
All right. Anyways, Cam, you're up next. What track did you pick for us tonight?
So this is Forest of Sleep from Brave Fencer Musashi from the original PlayStation by Tsuyoshi Sekito.
Very good. Let's take a listen.
Hi, welcome back. That was Brave Fencer Musashi Forest of Sleep from the PlayStation by Tsuyoshi Sekito.
Yay!
Socioshi.
So why'd you pick this one, aside from the obvious reasons?
Well, first of all, if you don't have Spooky if you don't have Theremin. And
It's a large part of the equation.
The theremin to me is just like when it's played with that really heavy vibrato, it's so spooky. Like,
Yeah.
There's nothing.
I'm sorry, it's what?
It's spooky. I lost.
Whoa. That was lazy.
Lost it.
You get a D, sir.
And
And
there
that
are
was
other
just like you
things.
just exorcisted it at the end.
There are other things about it that I think are spooky too, like the there's like a sitar that
Yeah, I love that
doubles
sitar.
doubles the theremin melody.
Oh, that like wow, wow, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
Sounds
track's
like a
got some
cat.
sitar in it too. It can
yeah?
be really spooky when you kind of.
Don't hog all the sitar.
Hey.
But there's one other thing about it that I think is particularly spooky is the absence of bass. There's no bass in it, so it just sounds like there's something desolate about it.
Kind of ethereal
More
and floaty.
Yeah, less
yeah,
hitting
yeah.
a wall, more just flat out going out.
Yeah, there's two versions of it in the game. That's the one in the forest during the daytime, and then there's a nighttime one that plays, which is the exact same track with no percussion.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like this one better than the other one. I listened to them both.
yeah.
I think it's called Somnolent Forest on the actual OST, but it's
Is it?
called Forest of Sleep in other
Everywhere I've
places.
seen it, it's forest.
Yeah, I've seen it both ways again, just like with Wild Arms too. I guess it's
Yeah.
a translation.
I've heard it
thing.
both ways.
I haven't played this
Psych.
game, but just listening to the track, I envisioned like Prince of Persia, like Halloween edition.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right?
I'd play that game.
This
Yeah, that
soundtrack-
desert feel.
The soundtrack is huge. There's like, I don't know, like 200 tracks or something.
In this game, right?
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of tunes.
This is a very eclectic episode. This is probably our most eclectic yet because, normally Ed and I
odds
just,
of having
I
those
pick
people.
Castlevania tracks, basically,
Yeah.
and Ed picks random, weird Genesis FM synth spooky stuff.
Yeah.
So that we're getting a nice eclectic mix.
Awesome.
Ironically,
Yeah.
that's what we picked for this episode.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
No, I will say it's kind of hilarious in its own way that you picked this because I was going to type in my choice for the collective document.
You stole it.
And no, he didn't steal it per se.
Uh-oh.
But we picked from the same game because I was going to pick from Brave Fencer Musashi. But then saw that you did. It's like, well, Cam's already dropped the representation. Let him have it. We can do this thing.
Which track?
Corona Jumper, man.
Oh, I don't know it by name.
It's the track that plays in the dungeon beneath the town. Like you're in like the guy's house, you go underneath, and it's like a weird like fire dungeon for
The
some
one
reason.
without the theremin.
There's no theremin in that one?
No, I don't recall there being a theremin, but it's still pretty okay.
Whoa.
That was
Wow.
scary.
That was the ghost that eats your head.
Yeah.
Right, it is.
You
But like,
lozenge after
I'll have to play it for you later or something.
Yeah,
you can hear
yeah.
it. But like, yeah, I was like, oh my god! And I even thought about bringing up Corona Jumper later just for the hell of it. I was like, oh, maybe cause we got to do our episode for Halloween too. Maybe.
There you go.
I feel bad now because I was.
Don't you dare!
I was so close to picking a Maximo track.
Don't you dare!
You should
picked
feel
a good
terrible.
tune from a great
Absolutely
game.
terrible.
All right, I feel at peace with my decision.
You should, man.
No, and I like this too because Pernell actually wrote a little note in the document for the rest of us to see, which was like, "You got good taste," and I was like,
I didn't see that. I didn't look. I didn't see
Right
that.
there.
I know,
yeah,
but I didn't.
why don't we? Can we read it?
No, I know.
I didn't
Pernell,
see it
Pernell,
since.
Pernell note. Excellent choice, Cam. I originally had Chrono Jumper in my mind for my pick, but Musashi's already well represented. Great minds think alike.
See, it's the truth.
Nice.
See?
Nice.
That was a good impression.
Thank you.
I dig it.
I hadn't
dig
looked
it.
at the document in a few days.
It's
Yeah,
like you
but that
just
was so
ate like a
cute.
lot of horseradish. You're just getting it all out.
I'm really working on, ruining my vocal cords.
The Pernell phlegm.
When your
You
nose
just
burns
need,
as
you
well
just
as your
need
mouth.
more
Yeah.
jalapenos, a butcherlupi,
Yeah, right.
and
Yeah,
things.
yeah,
But no, but I thought that was so nice. So
Yeah,
I liked
I-
being able to see that note.
I
So
feel connected to Pernell now.
yeah.
You guys just
You guys
became
are best friends
BFFs.
right now.
Right.
Biffles.
Biffles. All right.
So let's talk about the game.
Oh, there was a game?
Sometimes I forget that this music comes from games.
Yeah.
It's just a disc that has two songs on it.
Right,
The one he
right.
was going to pick and the one I picked.
That's what I figured.
You're supposed to sit there and just imagine where it would play.
Right.
So tell me about the game
So
then.
I haven't played it in a very long time, but I have beaten it, and it is one of the hardest. At least it's one of the hardest PlayStation games I've ever.
Okay.
It's solidly difficult.
So does he actually fence, or does he steal things from pickpocketing?
Well,
He's really brave about it.
Yes.
Actually, I didn't even think about that. I never thought about that until he just said that.
Wait a minute.
Fincher fits. Okay. Because he fits his power-ups from other enemies and uses them with his sword.
That's interesting.
He's a mystical fencer.
It took me like 8 seconds to figure out what you even meant. I didn't even.
I'm still confused.
Ed works in mysterious ways.
It's an old English term. Fencing is another term for pickpocketing.
Right.
But fencing can also be swordplay. So I was wondering whether he was a thief or whether he was
He's both.
a swordsman. I guess he's
both.
both.
He is kind of both.
That's kind of cool.
He's got he's got 2 different swords, 2 magical swords. Pernell might be able to help me. One is Lumina and one is.
I don't remember.
Ted.
Lumina's the one I knew.
Yeah.
Ted.
Because Lumina's the one that steals the
George.
powers.
Yeah,
George.
Yeah,
Theodore.
one of them you use to siphon
And Steve.
powers or abilities from enemies. I think, right?
Yeah, it's like that's like the puzzle element of the game. So like there'll be environments where like you need a specific enemy's ability to progress or make a switch move or whatever you gotta do. So you gotta find the guy, beat the crap out of him, and then killing blow has to be done with the Luminous sword.
It's so fun.
okay.
Siphon the ability.
That's got a very kind of like treasure feel to it, where you've got 2 kind of polar opposite things that you need to work together.
The art style is
kinda
very
cool.
treasury too, if
It's
I
a
recall.
genuinely good game, and it makes me sad that the majority of its sales came because people wanted to play the demo disc
demo
for a
disc,
far
yeah.
inferior
That's
game.
Right.
Far inferior?
It's a Musashi.
Them's
Come
fighting
on,
words.
man.
Wait,
We
wait,
had
wait.
a bond. Yeah. We had a bond.
Wait, what was the game?
Gosh.
Final
so
Fantasy
different.
VII,
I
I
wouldn't-
think,
I
wasn't
wouldn't-
it?
Whoa.
Dun, dun, dun.
I know you're not talking junk about 7.
No, it's 8.
No, 8.
Oh, okay. Phew. Oh,
He's on
please.
board. He's
Oh, talk all the junk you want about 8.
Go
ahead.
There's so much junk to talk.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I don't want to bring the show down.
No, just go to our Final Fantasy episode. You'll hear all the junk talked about Final Fantasy 8.
Hey guys, let's get my Corvette and just drive her off the plains. Chocobo, who the fuck are those? I don't need that. We got a Corvette and aliens in space. It happened, but there's a girl to say, so no one's thinking about it. Stole all of our memories.
That's pretty much it in a nutshell right there.
Good thing we used post-production.
I'm going to leave it in.
Oh, man.
All right, well, I'm sick of these guest hosts.
Yeah, right?
Why don't we pick our own tracks for a change?
I'm down for that.
sir.
That's true.
That's true.
So, you're up first,
I'm
Mike.
up first. All right. So I picked a game that I've already played from, actually.
You better pronounce this right.
Tamarama.
Okay, I got a question before you finish. How would you mispronounce that?
No, the title of the track.
Oh, okay. Let's make sure.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's for the DS, and the track I picked is Trance Macabre,
Thank you.
and it's by Toshikazu Tanaka, Mitsuhiro Kaneda, Kimihiro Abe, and Noriyuki Kamikura.
All right, let's take a listen. And get your disco shoes on.
Heyo!
Oh, yeah.
How could you pronounce that wrong? That's fine.
He said macabre on the show.
I have.
No, not that. What Pernell thought you meant, which was the name of
I always
Oh.
forget that it's
Tambo Ramber.
on Tamarama. It's a tongue
All right,
twister.
let's hit it.
Macabre.
Welcome back to Spooky Tunes. That was On Tamarama for the Nintendo DS. Trance Macabre was the name of the track. And it's by Toshikazu Tanaka, Mitsuhiro Kaneda, Kimihiro Abe, and Noriyuki Kamikura. And that may be the slickest Japanese composer runoff that I've ever had in the history of Pixel Tunes.
I know, I don't even need to edit that.
That's right, no editing required, ladies and gentlemen.
Well done.
So we played this we played this game we played a track of it on what, episode 90?
Yeah, it was a free pick.
Yeah, because I was holding on to this track for almost a year, waiting for Spooky Tunes to roll over, and Spooky Tunes arrived, and then we're going to do this panel, so I was like, well, what do I do? So I decided to play it here, which may or may not be my downfall tomorrow, so we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah. Probably a mistake to pit myself up against Pernell, because I forgot how...
It's like sprinting off the gate and
Right.
falling flat
I
on
was
your
like,
face.
I'm awesome, and then Pernell's like, me too. And I'm like, oh no!
I heard this track.
I'm 7 feet tall, my strides are longer.
Yeah.
Like, I heard this track kick off. I'm like, oh man, I'm go ahead and pick that for tomorrow.
So the only part that I don't like about this track is the really terrible, like, off-key or off-tempo Super Nintendo MIDI guitar. That because it doesn't fit.
It's the majority of the track
Yeah.
sounds performed like it has a kind of a human-ish element
Right.
to it, but that sounds very robotic.
Yes,
exactly.
I agree.
They
Brings me out of the song.
They probably just put it in there for a section that would make you kill yourself. Because
Yeah.
the damn game is
Yeah, I'm
hard.
sure it's for like the extra hard part of the game. 'cause
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a rhythm-based game.
It's a rhythm-based game. We talked about it on episode 90, so if you want to know about the composers in the game and everything, go back. But it's a rhythm-based game on the DS, very similar to like Elite Beat Agents, that type of thing. But the track is more towards the later part of the game. It's the second to last boss, if I recall, because the last boss you fight twice, I think, and that music is just straight up like death metal. Like it's awesome. It's really, really good stuff, but it's really, really hardcore stuff. And then this track, when I heard it, I was like, oh my god, this is like Secret Castlevania. So I had to include it.
Secret Castlevania.
Secrets.
We're
It's a
meeting
leftover
first.
track from Dawn of Sorrow.
Yeah, something like that, or like Portrait of Ruin, or yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So good stuff. I dig it.
You only hear it in the Belmont VIP room.
Right. Yeah.
We
No,
actually,
those keys, like not the keys, the synths, when the synths come in with the like
thing
the
with the thing.
da-na-na-na-na-na-na, like that part, like
Yeah.
that's just right
It
out
is
of
Castlevania.
Castlevania. Right.
They weren't trying to hide that.
Oh, definitely
at
not,
all.
no.
And the beginning sounds like Guile's theme. Mm-hmm. You were going to say something?
I was gonna say that. Yeah, that we actually went back and listened to it again because I was hearing the Street Fighter influence, and couldn't put my finger on it at first, but we all kind of felt it. Guile's theme in there.
Gile's theme.
Yeah.
Gully.
Gully's theme.
It was funny because we're like
Guile.
Wild. That's what I knew when I heard
Guile.
that.
So I went back. The song finished, and we're all like, "Guile's still like, what are you talking about?" So I went back and listened to it again, and then the part came in. All of us at once started
Yeah.
just coming,
Singing
da, 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 and so it was really kind of funny.
Yeah.
So we were what? Sonic Spooky
Yeah.
tunes.
Sonic Spook.
Sonic Spook.
E-Tunes.
Little ghosts fly out of his arms
Right,
for no
right.
particular reason. All right.
He throws ectoplasm.
Yes.
Anything else to say about your track?
No, I'm kind of regretting it because Pernell feels like it could have defeated his, so now I kind of want to...
You know what?
Let's
We
redo it.
gotta let nope.
Redo it,
Let
pull
the
it back.
audience
That's for
decide.
the audience to decide.
That's
I was
true.
just going to say
It's
that.
true. It's true.
You know?
It's true.
They might like what you've got.
But I believe
picked.
in the audience. And the audience believes in me.
I believe in your face. Nice.
That's facing the audience.
Oh,
Oh, snap.
it all comes full circle.
Hey guys, like my jams.
All right, time to head on to our last track of the night. This is my pick. This is Treasure Buster. Came out on iOS. We've heard from this before. This is one of Matt Creamer's amazing soundtracks.
Yes.
This is Tomb of Sentient Ooze from that game. Let's take a listen.
Oozy.
Ooze.
Spoozy.
All these pores on my face are
Between
oozing.
Treasure Buster, Matt Creamer, and Temple of Ooze, you were pretty much on the right track. with that
Oozy.
statement, so just go.
Oozy Tunes.
All right, let's hit it. All right, we're back. That was Tomb of Sentient Ooze from Treasure Buster. Came out on the iOS, composed by our friend Matt Creamer, otherwise known as Norrin Rad. He co-hosted with us back on 93, I believe. Fantastic composer, excellent dude, full of video game music knowledge and composition knowledge.
That was a great episode if you haven't listened to it.
This was the track that I wanted to play on the show with him, but you picked a track from Treasure Buster first, so...
Yes.
But your track was amazing. This whole soundtrack is amazing.
Great,
This is just another great example of that. I felt it fit that spooky theme very, very well because it's got...
Sorry, that what?
Spooky theme very, very well. It's got that kind of sitar, Egyptian... We were talking about that sitar.
Egyptian haunted tomb, definitely.
Yeah,
I think Emily said that best. Yeah.
And Tomb of Sentient Ooze is the name of the level.
Tombs.
So you're in this kind of dungeony, sewery kind of level... And there are Oozy Tombs. I like that.
Oozy Tombs.
Yeah, we can just.
That's like more for more adult grade.
We could just smear pepperoni and pizza all over our face and get lots of pimples, and then just pop them on the podcast.
Yeah.
Oozy Tunes.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
So I was actually watching this game earlier today. I was letting Logan,
That's
one
right.
of the children in this household, show me this game. And he starts playing it. I'm just like, ooh, I really dig this FM synth right now. And I'm watching it, and it's pixel art and everything, but it's like very specifically that Genesis color palette with all the greens and purples.
Yeah.
It was so good.
While you're describing it, describe what the game is, because I don't know.
It's not just greens and purples? That's what I thought.
Greens and purples and music.
That's Quake 2. Quake 2 is just green. That's how you describe Quake 2. So it's top down. Basically, your character is just a face. It's like a head. And kind of like billiards, you drag your finger back over the head and then launch it, and it ricochets around and it hits the enemies. So the dungeons are all shaped with yeah,
So
exactly,
it's like,
kind of.
It's
So it's
like
like Gauntlet
Puzzle
and-
Bobble without sticking, and enemies kind of
Gauntlet.
around.
You
Gauntlet
knock
pinball.
into these
Yeah,
enemies and
pinball.
take their health out. And in between, so once your little head guy stops, then they fire at you. And if you're within the path of their fire when you stop, then you get hit. Or you have the opportunity to parry by tapping the screen as soon as the projectile comes to you.
Oh, that sounds pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then there's tons of treasure to get, so it's called Treasure Buster because you're looting all these tombs for treasure. So you collect them by running over them and launching into them and stuff, and you lose treasure when you get hit, etc., etc. So when you
Perfect runs are the way to go.
exactly, and you get bonuses if you clean up all the treasure at the same time on the last turn that you hit the last guy for the end of his health. So it's really cool, really kind of deep gameplay. There's different characters with different kind of like magical spells and stuff that they can do. It's a hell of a lot of fun. Fantastic soundtrack, like we've said, 25 times on the podcast so far. But really, really good stuff. I don't know. People were calling this the track of the podcast. And I'm a modest guy, but I really like this tune.
I think it's probably my favorite of the episode. But like I said earlier, I think it's the least spooky, personally.
Yeah,
It's got like a mysterious vibe to it, but I don't feel like I would be spooked in playing it.
Well, it doesn't have your theremin, so fine.
Exactly. Right. Basically, every other track in this episode is out because there's no theremin.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So to me, it sounds kind of like After Hours spooky. Like all the ghosts and stuff are like kind of done with scaring you.
Oh,
They're
the
just hanging out.
Boo.
So they're
Whatever.
just hanging out and listening to some jams,
Boo.
Aren't
I
they
like it.
supposed to be unnerving?
Cleaning
Yeah,
up,
whatever. What are
cleaning
you
up
gonna
the
do?
ancient.
I'll hunt you later. God.
Blah, blah. Yeah, get the blood,
Exactly.
So here's a picture of my daughter. Isn't she cute?
Cutie tunes. All
You
right.
guys should just make a website, by the way, that just lists all of the alternate names.
Oh,
you
I
come up with.
have a feeling some of our Facebook followers will end up listing them all at some point.
Yes.
Anyway.
It'll be like the Undercover Cops. Dude, you haven't played this game episode that we did
Yes.
with the what's it called?
It's a bootleg.
Yeah, no, the
Reproduction.
no, the
Chicken nuggets.
no,
No, there's so many parts to that video.
Uzi Cops.
Oh, yeah.
Sushi Cops.
Juicy Cops, Juicy Cops.
Juicy Cops.
Choosy Cops, choose Jeff.
Juicy Cops. Smoochy Cops. Yeah.
Well, that's a good one. We haven't done that one.
Smoochy Cops. Yeah.
What you need to do is you need to make, you know how we used to see commercials for sort of CD compilation sets and it would scroll through all the titles and it would just
Yes.
pick some? So you need
All
to
the
compile
hits.
a whole list of all these names, and then every so often highlight one, and then just put like a little clip of what that podcast would be like in the background quickly.
Just do a
And then
roll.
move on
Or
to the next.
also just like all the names will scroll up, and every once in a while one will just get rid of like Spooky Tunes.
I don't know. I'm quite fascinated by Uzi Tunes. I need to research this a little more.
As long as it's OOZE and not UZUI.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true. Very true.
Machine Gun Beats. I mean, whatever.
Yeah. Blast beats.
So that about does it for our show. We will have
SpookyTunes
obviously,
4.
not a full roster of tracks this episode, but
Right.
we will have another episode coming out in 1 week, which will be the live feed from our panel, which is coming up at Retroworld Expo 2017.
Our VGM. What are we calling it? The VGM.
Spooktacular Showdown.
VGM Spooktacular Showdown. Showdown Spooktacular.
Showdown Spooktacular.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, and that's where a whole bunch of us are going to pit songs against each other and compete
Fight to the death.
to be the supreme champion
Yes.
of the VGM Throwdown. So
Yes.
that's going to be a lot of fun. So, again, thank you to our special guests tonight, Pernell, Cam, Todd, Emily, Mike, who hasn't said a word the entire show, but he's just hanging out in the... Not you, Mike.
Yeah, we gotta rewind
Rewind,
Mike
Mike.
here too.
Trying really hard not to say.
Yeah.
Cracking up over here.
Yes.
He's been a good sport.
Yes.
We haven't allowed him to talk.
But
It's
that
that,
means,
it's that ball gag we've got in his
No,
mouth.
no.
Right.
He said
We call on him for fact checking. You know,
That's
we
true.
threw it
That's
over
true.
to him.
Somebody's gotta take the Uzi Tunes out of his mouth.
He did set a precedence though, because now he can claim he was in any episode, and you can't deny it.
That's true.
He's the silent partner.
Yes.
He's the seventh guest.
But yeah, I was on that episode.
Oh,
Wow.
Holy
that's actually
crap!
true.
He is number 7.
Boom.
Todd, you knew all along.
That's better than Bickety Buck Humble from last episode. Bickety
All right.
Buck
So
Humble.
for the podcast guests that are here, Todd, you're not a podcast.
You're not Todd. That's Cam.
Pernell, where can
Oh.
we
Tam.
find your
Todd.
lovely podcast?
There's Rhythm and Pixels at rhythmandpixels.com, and there's also the SML podcast, which is just the SML podcast on Twitter and also on Facebook.
Shaking my leg podcast.
Chicken Little podcast.
Shaking my leg.
I wish I had a shake in my leg.
What does
Shaking my leg.
SML
Dude,
stand for?
That
Is what
means,
he's asking.
yes.
I'm on. I think it's like, I'm not even sure. I want to say it was like Saturday morning lecture or something. I'm not
Okay.
sure what it ever stood for.
that sounds exciting.
But it's just SML podcast. It's cool. It's video game reviews and interviews.
Single man licking.
No!
Tunes radio.
Stupid Mike Levy.
Yes! Yes!
Holy cow! It worked!
Boom! Oh, that tops it. That tops it. You thought yours was good, Emily. Sorry.
I'll take silver. It's cool.
All right, Emily, where can we find you on the web?
You can find me and my co-host Josh at the VGMJukebox.com. We are a listener recommendation podcast, so if you guys have video game tunes that you like and you have things you want to say about them, please send in your recommendations. We play them on the air, we read your testimonials, and then we talk about them and get very off track.
Absolutely. But they have so much fun doing it, and it's so much fun to listen to. So
Oh, thank you.
very, very cool. And as always, you can find us at facebook.com or Facebook. Wow.
Yes.
No, I'm
You can find us at
one too many
Facebook,
ciders tonight.
Facebook.com/groups/PixelTunesRadio
Or pixeltunesradio.com. That's what I was going for.
or PixelTunesRadio@gmail.com.
Exactly.
What?
And if you have any more Pixel Chat questions to ask us so we can answer them on our show, email us at pixeltunesradio@gmail.com.
You'd also check out us on youtube.com/dongled, which is where you can also check out Dude, You Haven't Played This Game, coming up on the Halloween episode. Check it out. It's going to be a lot of fun.
All right, very cool.
Dongle!
Doongle.
I totally forgot to mention that we have a Facebook page too. Rhythm and Pixels on Facebook as well. One word, I believe.
I like how you said that
Yes.
almost hauntedly. You were like, I forgot that we have a Facebook
I'm
page.
Pernell, and
Ah,
I'm back
ah.
to tell you.
I want for you to subscribe to my group. Ah!
He's going to glamour you into it.
And
Yes.
before he forgets to acknowledge it, stay tuned for the future Todd's page turners.
Yes.
He's gonna do it.
Yes.
He's gonna do it. It's gotta happen. He's like, I hate you for even mentioning that.
No, you
That is
just
expectation.
gotta dive in.
I can just
We all
imagine it being
dove
like the Ben Stein, like, Hi, I'm Todd. Welcome to Page Turners.
You're not far off.
Today we're going to listen to a very particular book.
All right,
Oh,
guys.
wait, before we sign off, thank you so much for having us here and setting this
Oh,
up for us.
absolutely.
Hang
This
out
was so
and
much
do
fun.
the panel because you guys orchestrated that whole thing. So thank you so much for doing that. I think that this gathering is not only very cool, but I'm just having a good time. So.
And I'm hoping that we all survive this weekend.
It's
Thank
also
you.
Well, no, we're
Buying
not.
the
It's a
red
battle.
hard
It's a
apple
battle
cider.
to the death, Ed.
I know, so only
right.
3 of us will
We're not,
survive, and
yeah,
then
so.
Well, technically, one of us will survive.
and then one of us will survive that battle of 3 at the
Right,
end.
right,
yeah.
right.
So it's gonna be fun.
So yeah, we'll have
All
to
right.
see what happens.
Yes.
Some of these podcasts may be going off the air.
So much
soon.
anxiety.
Who knows? We may be doing episode 100 with just one person. Be like, this is Michael Tunes Radio.
Oh, I was
Every
thinking-
episode is just Castlevania all the time.
All
We have
metal.
Ed's ashes right here in this urn.
Ed, play a track. Oh wait, you can't. You're dead. Well, let's play a track in Ed's memory. Here's Silent Mobius.
Now we can pronounce Vaxanadu properly.
Yes.
No,
I'll have no
never.
contention and
I'm
hardcore.
still laughing at that. I'm like, even as a kid, I'm like, I don't know how to mispronounce that word.
Vaxanadu.
Crystallis, yes. Crystallis is an easy thing to say like that. It's Crystallis, I know. But as a
It's
kid, I called it
Chrysalis
Crystallis.
with no T.
Chrysalis.
Chrysalis. It's the fancy.
I hereby chrysalis you.
Yes. There you go.
Chrysalis is a very different thing.
How did we go off track
I-
at the ending?
Have no clue. You guys
Of
are
all
weird.
things.
Because we're great people hanging out.
That's right.
Talking about
All right.
crazy stuff.
So once again, this is Ed and Mike signing off. We will see you, like I said, hopefully in
1
1
week.
week
Yes.
with our live panel recording. And then after that, we'll be heading on to episode 100 and beyond.
Oh my goodness.
100.
We have a lot of really cool stuff planned for episode 100, so
Yeah,
stay
100
tuned.
is going to be a banger.
Yes.
All right.
It's going to be a mashed
And taters?
potato banger.
That would be so sad if
Just-
only one of you were there.
It'll just be us.
100.
It'll just be us
For
wearing
the
mashed
anniversary
potato diapers,
episode.
Like,
right?
What? Us and mashed
It'll be
potatoes?
us in mashed potato diapers for the episode 100.
Diapers made of mashed potatoes?
Yes.
that don't sound very stable at
And
all.
when
I enjoy watching Ed's face every time there's a tangent. Right, every time he thinks that we're about to.
it's like he has a
we're
little.
about to stop.
It's like here's the thing. It's like he has a little seizure, like each time it happens, and I'm just waiting for that to happen so that way, like.
For the benefit of listeners, Ed's finger is right hovering, over the
hovering,
stop
yeah.
button.
And just when he's about to stop, I decide I'm going to go on to discuss the entire
The content's just too good.
I don't think we finished talking about Wild Arms.
Wait.
We haven't even talked about the TGIF lineup.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Wait. I have one.
1996.
I have one really
We
important
are
thing.
peaking
All right,
really
all right,
hard
hold
right
on,
now.
Hold on. I have one really important thing to say. SpookyTunes.